This is the Lagonda Rapide in my shed. Number 55, number 53 or 55 made. Not mine, it's lived with me for a long time. Sold new to Sir Arnold Hall of Hawker Siddeley. Beautiful car, got no brakes at the moment. So I don't know what the future holds for that. I like having it, even if it's just to look at the moment. Latest arrival is this Rover 2000. I'm not sure what year it is, but it must be pre-70. It's a 2000 single carburettor, sold new in South Africa, possibly assembled there. Not quite sure how they did that. It's absolutely amazing condition. I have to excuse my camera work because I've never done this before. This is my wife's Caravelle, Renault Caravelle, 1965. Local Swindon car, originally gold, which I'd like to put it back to one day. Is the other latest edition, the Corvair. It's a Corvair 700 sedan. The Corvair, in case you don't know, is a rear flat six engined air cooled Chevrolet. They were made from 60 to 69 and had a reputation for lethal handling, which is not entirely deserved, I have to say. It's 2-speed powered glide, 2.3 litre, 80 horsepower, which sounds boring, but actually it goes very well. Quite impressed with it. It wants a couple of little jobs doing to it, but it's on the button really. So I've got to get that. I've got to get an English plate on that, as I have for the Rover, and get using it. That is my Lancia Gamma sedan. I've had these cars for 30 years. They're mostly coupes, but I just like the saloon now. I think it's a cleaner shape, a little more interesting shape. That I'm walking towards now is my Oldsmobile Tornado, which was a bit of a crazy thing I bought probably about 3 years ago now. Wanted one off and on from ever since I can remember. Just fascinated by the engineering, the idea of a 7-litre V8 driving the front wheels, which they said couldn't be done, but General Motors did it, Oldsmobile did it. It's very, very nice to drive, quite fast. Yes, it's thirsty, but I just haven't bothered working out how much because it'd just be depressing. And it's all sorted, and cheap thing really. It's just on the list of things that I've always wanted. I don't use it very often, but it gets enough use to to be a viable thing and kept up and together. Had very few problems with it. Is another long-term love affair car, I suppose you could call it. Fiat 130 Coupe. These go back to the early 80s when my dad had one. I've been in love with them since then. Just love the shape, the sound. I've just had such a long association with them that I just feel it's something I can't do without. This one's one that I bought for 400 quid off somebody probably 15 years ago now. he brought it in from the south of France, so it's never been rusty as such. I've done body, paint, wheels, tyres twice over, front and rear bumper re-chromes. I've changed the interior to leather. I've done everything to this car. And it is pretty much on the button at the moment. It's got a 4-speed ZF automatic in it, which gets rid of the low gearing you get with the 130, which was starting to drive me daft. And it goes very, very well. I've just put uprated dampers on it. Engine's totally standard, but I did change the engine on it quite soon after I first bought it, because the original engine was seized, which was the reason I got it for £400. As I say, I had it painted a couple of years ago, and it's a bit disappointing, to be honest, because it's already coming through again, but that's due to be sorted. I've done everything to this. It's a lovely car. I really, really do love it. Well, this, I suppose, is me. If I had to say my favourite, this is probably it. It's a 1960 Rolls-Royce Silver Cloud, sold new to Sir Denniston Burney of Burnley Streamline and R100 airship fame. I first encountered this car 10 years ago, probably more than that, 12, 13 years ago, with Graham Whitehouse, because it was his development car for his uprated gearbox and brake conversions. And I was absolutely blown away by this car when I drove it for a featuring classic and sports car, and I just thought, I've got to have this if it ever comes up for sale. Anyway, one thing led to another, and life unfolded, and ended up being able to buy it in actually nicer condition than when Graham had it in terms of bodywork. It's fabulous. At 100 miles an hour, it's doing 2,500 revs. It currently needs an exhaust, which it's due to get in the next few weeks, I think. A middle box. It will still do 120 miles an hour where required, where allowed, I should say. And it's, it's quite usable, and it being big. I really do love this car. Behind that is another new one, which I'm not sure what the future holds for it, but like to be able to keep it, because again, it's another one of those cars that I've always wanted. It's not a Mark X Jaguar, it's a 420G, but it's quite unusual in that it's manual overdrive, and it's got twin aircon, and it was sold new to the South African government. And it's rust free, and it's straight. It could probably do with the wood doing, but it's as nice as I need a car to be frank. And it's amazingly nice to drive, it really is. So I'd like to hang on to that if I could swing it, but possibly might not be politically allowed, shall we say. Then we've got the Range Rover 2-door, which I've had for probably 10 years now. Managed to get my hands on it before the prices went stupid. It's just a late-ish 2-door with overdrive and power steering and a teddy bear trim, and nice low mileage, 60,000, 63,000. Use it quite a bit, just have an exhaust put on it. Goes very well, I enjoy it. It's thirsty, and, not that fast, but I can, I think they're an amazing piece of design, and bits are very cheap for them, and they're pretty reliable. Although I have had to have the gearbox and the overdrive rebuilt. I think it had some sort of interesting history, because there's a few little bits on it suggest it might have been some kind of royal protection vehicle or something, or there's a hole in the roof, or a hole professionally covered up in the roof, and some funny holes in the dash, and a sort of royal warrant thing on the windscreen, which may be the clues. But yeah, there's another keeper, as they say. This captures people's attention. It's a Datsun Fairlady, which belongs to my friend Gus. It currently got a starter motor problem, but we did take it to Le Mans a couple of years ago. So that's a nice little car which I stole for him, because I like the look of it. This is a really nice, probably one of the nicest Bentley turbos that I've ever had anything to do with, which I stole from my friend Merrill in America, and he comes over and drives it. And finally, in the corner is another Gus car. I'm going to say it's a 62, I'm not sure why, it's something like that. Humber Super Snipe, 3-speed manual. I think it's overdrive, no power steering. Very original car, one previous family owner, which he stores here. I think he might be about to sell it, but anyway, I'm quite happy to look at that. Yeah, that's outside. I've got my RO80. That's my office over there. Hope that's of interest. Thank you. Bye.